He's like the guy who made like the red blue Iden ages ago.
Yeah.
But we can chat about that. Oh, you got a haircut. Oh, and a mustache. Dude, can you keep? Oh, wait, and Steve, and Mike. What? What the hell? You have mustaches.
Trying to be like you, baby.
Oh my god, that's fucking epic.
Just trend setting.
Wait, can you guys keep them? They all look really good.
They don't.
Mike's, Steve, yours look good. Mike's, yours looks good.
I work with children. Can't have that.
Justin, yours looks good. Can you guys please keep them for a little bit?
I will keep them for about 45 minutes.
I went out to eat last night after the tournament. I'm sitting at the bar and these girls across the way are kind of looking over this way, and I'm like, interesting. And then I'm like, oh wait, they're probably staring at my mustache.
Wait, you had it yesterday?
Yeah.
What? Oh my god, Justin, yours looks better than I thought it would. With the backwards hat?
Last second. I shaved at like 11:45 last night. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I also hate my face without like a beard, so I'm kind of.
I love.
Yeah, I don't know the last time you didn't have a beard. You've had a beard for.
Henry's never seen me, so at least. 7.
This is insane. I wish you had recorded my live thing.
Oh, we are recording. I did record that.
Yeah. Oh, sick.
Yeah, it was all planned. We had it.
We gotta save that. Yeah. Holy shit.
I recorded it for the podcast. Oh my god.
Dude, I don't know. I was up past my bedtime last night, and now I'm.
Yeah. What time was that?
Like 10.
Okay. Hey, welcome back. It's your boy Bobby Sapphire. We are podcasting now. We did our big mustache reveal. If you didn't understand what was going on, that's what happened. Check out our YouTube channel where all 4 of us have mustaches now. Justin, how are you feeling about your mustache life?
So I hated it, but after looking at my face on this Discord call for about 5 minutes, maybe I'll keep it.
You, like you look very stereotypically middle-aged Indian. Like you look like what a characteristic, like a caricature would be. In a lot of ways, like when you're smiling, it just comes funny. I can't look at myself.
Do you want potato?
Yeah,
potato.
Exactly. I tried to make that as least racist as possible, but like I can't see myself because you guys are off on a different screen. So I'm glad I'm not going to appreciate looking at myself and not get used to it because I think
there's a picture of Uncle and Dad and like your mustache is just right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I felt it as it was happening. What's up, Matty? How did you
feel?
Looks
like the guy from Top Gun, the like leader general guy
from the first Top Gun.
Guy from Mad Men?
No, I'll try to find it. Keep going with it.
All right, you find it.
What's up?
Dude, I did not even. I was mid coffee when I saw Steve, and I was like, wait, and then it panned to everyone's faces, and I lost my mind. So that was really cool. So. Yeah, man.
Put a mustache on Grogu back there.
Oh yeah, Grogu stash.
Steve, least likely to keep his mustache.
Yeah, this thing's going away.
It looks good.
I made the mistake of shaving and doing everything yesterday afternoon, not anticipating doing anything last night. And then not only did I go to a draft, but I also went to a bar afterwards, and like I didn't realize I had the mustache, and I was just looking like a fool.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're killing it.
All right, well, we have a lot to talk about today, so we're going to try and keep it moving. We're going to say goodbye to Set 1. I don't think any of us have any Set 1 events. You guys aren't driving up to New Hampshire next weekend, I take it. They're pretty far north. I guess like we'll still draft Set 1 since we like that. We also have to see if they're going to draft Set 1 with Set 2 ever, or if we want to try that and see how it is. I'm going to talk about product issues, our early Set 2 testing, recent spoilers. We'll play Good, Bad, Broken again and answer a couple Patreon questions. And then early Set 2 deck. So the next time we record, it will be right before pre-release weekend of Set 2. So we'll have the full set spoiled and we'll just be fully in Set 2 mode. So that's why we're saying goodbye to Set 1. Right now, if you still have store showdowns and you're in our Patreon, like we'll still be there helping you grinding. But for the podcast, we're moving on.
Yeah. Like I just posted my updated Vader deck that I did well with yesterday. Like, you know.
Yeah, congrats on the top 4, Matty. Nice work.
Thanks.
Congrats on the top 4 store showdown. Steve won a draft, his third straight draft that he won.
Yes, sir.
And Steve and I have a draft video coming out on Tuesday, so we'll still have some set 1 content and start easing over to set 2, but for the most part, we're gonna start moving over to set 2. Oh, Steve, here's your draft, your winning draft from yesterday. I didn't realize it was best of 1 draft. You said you liked best of 1 fine.
Yeah, I like best of 1 because it's quick, it's easy.
I mean, your whole draft took 2 hours, which is nuts.
Yeah, that's
I think
crazy.
I was in and out 2.5 hours, draft plus 3 best of 1 games, and then at a bar. Like, it doesn't get much better than that.
So you said that our video together that's coming out Tuesday was kind of in your head. I don't want to like give away the whole video, but what exactly?
Yeah, don't spoil it. I'll do a separate little deck tech on this that we can ship out to the Patreon where I can kind of dig deeper into that. But basically all the things I was correcting you with in your draft, I was like, oh, maybe I was wrong. Or like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And then I just completely didn't listen to myself.
Gotcha.
And
how did those 5-drop super
Right.
laser techs work out?
That's like the basis of the issue with what I was drafting yesterday. I mean, I just laid them as resources. It was weird draft because it was only 6 people.
Yeah.
And 4 of them were villain, and I had villain on my left and right, I think.
Yeah.
But either way, so like I was the only blue. So my
your blue stuff is
playables
obviously nuts. Yeah.
yeah, my playables weren't super. I didn't have a lot of playables, but the playables that I did have were fire. So like most of those cards I just resourced. I didn't end up actually playing anything off aspect. And especially with the 2-drop TIE fighter, it really smoothed out all my draws in that regard.
Oh,
I just love the 8-drop
Inferno.
gorilla attack pod, which like I specifically called out in our video as like a joke. When I was like,
Yeah.
I guess I might play this 8-drop gorilla attack video, lol.
I mean, we did a draft on Tuesday, and like we had 2 6 people or whatever pods, and like it's not a lot of cards, like you have to kind of get a little creative on these like more casual, short drafts.
Yeah, and as we've seen with this game, not everything's like a Pro Tour level event. So like we're kind of just scrapping and clawing at what we can.
Strike True for 5 is good though.
No, I agree. I think like if you draw it early, you resource it, and if not, like maybe use it.
Yeah, in all my games I never played anything off aspect. And the other thing that actually worked out well was J-Rod was actually green Chewy. And his deck was pretty strong, but there were so many packs that I had that didn't have an actual playable in my color. So I just was scooping up all the good hero cards. So like I had 2 of the Arcs, I had another of the X-Wing, the Forces with me. Like I probably hate drafted about 8 good like blue green Chewies, and otherwise that would have his deck would have just been broken.
Yeah, because at least you can like splash those if you really get short. Like a 4 cost 2/3 in space on like a short draft isn't the end of the world.
Yeah.
Also, one card that
when you do have those smaller drafts, and like assuming you're playing to actually 3-0, knowing who's playing what leader and where they're situated at, it really increases your ability to hate draft certain cards and certain against certain archetypes. So while your deck might not be like a 9 power deck out of 10 or whatever, you're increasing the I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Well, I do, but I can't get the words out.
That's okay.
Are
you saying
you're making
like
your opponent's decks worse by
exactly because you're relative to the draft you're in,
and you're just playing deck. You're playing certain cards as lands. Yeah. Like, and we do that even in constructed when it's like, oh well, I'm never going to use this card in this match. Like, I'm never going to play this Avenger this game, so I'm auto resourcing it. In game
which
1.
is fine.
Like, right. It's important to like have those cards that you need to resource. So like that's just part of it.
That's my only thing, and obviously, like they're local, so it's not the end of the world. But like when you have to play cross pod, it's like, oh, like my deck is in the context of the draft I'm in, but beggars can't be choosers.
Yep.
Did you see any Carabas? Because that's one card like I kind of slept on, but it's like pretty good out of aspect actually.
I hated a Carabas.
Yeah.
I didn't play it. Maybe I probably should have. I mean, I took I had some bad picks at some point, mostly because of that video. Like I took a super laser technician over an Imperial Interceptor at one point, just to give you a little perspective of where my head was at.
My lord.
So
Yes.
you were just like, Mike was wrong. I'm gonna do it the right way, and then came up with this.
Hey,
No,
you know
I
what?
basically did it your way.
I
But
gotta
I
give
would
you a
have
lot of
taken the
credit though.
Interceptor.
Yeah.
Maybe I
You
don't.
know
I
what
don't know
though?
what I was.
He's
I should've
owning his
drafted-
mistake. He could have said, it was the only card I could take.
Yeah.
So
True.
respect.
Oh no, I don't, dude. I screw up all the time. I have no problem admitting it.
All right.
Same.
So one of the things I wanted to do, actually, I thought I had this next, but whatever. We can actually, yeah, I do want to talk about the product thing next, so I'll go back to that slide. Product shortages, reactions. What do you guys think about this? Is it
A
a shortage?
$1,000 showcase. Holy Nikes, or whatever called booster case.
It's absurd. Like, I have no problem with secondary market markups. Like, people invest, they speculate all the time. We did it in Magic. But, like, when I go into my local store trying to find draft packs so we can draft after our dinner, and the owner of the store wants $12 a pack, like, that ain't cool.
Yeah, I don't know how stores with Asmodee accounts can get away with that. I guess if they bought it secondary, they have to make a profit on it. But if they got it direct from Asmodee at like their $70 cost and they're selling it for double,
Yeah.
it is tough when there's a MSRP and things are going above it. But I know, like, does a primary market need to exist? Like, can everything be like the secondary market? Like, I've gone into stores, like hobby stores, and they don't have prices on anything, and they just look up prices whenever you want to buy it, so the prices are always current. But I don't know. I mean, stores need to make money,
Yeah.
and I think
12 a pack's kind of whack though.
No, I agree, but like,
If
and maybe
if there's only a secondary market, then everyone should have access to the distributor.
right, and that's what usually you can do through FFG. Like, you can buy things at MSRP through the FFG store usually. That's like, there was that email. I guess the way this came out is like a bunch of people ordered from FFG Direct, and then they got their orders canceled.
Oh, right.
And that's what kind of put us in this position of why we're talking about it on the podcast. But like, if we could order at MSRP from FFG, then yeah, there wouldn't be a secondary market. It's the fact that everything ran out. So like, should stores charge more?
Let me ask you a question though. What is the MSRP?
I think it's $119 a box.
119 for a booster
Well,
box.
if that's the case, then like with set one, how was I able to buy all those boxes from Game Nerds for $88?
Because
Well, they probably
Game
got 'em for,
Nerds
like,
gets them for
60.
$70.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I guess that's the question I was asking.
Yeah.
is, like,
Wholesale's
what
like
do-
73 or something.
Right.
Maybe even cheaper if you buy more. Like, I don't have all the details on what Asmodee charges stores, but I know it's
Yeah.
So I
in
guess
the
that was
low
more-
70 range.
Yeah, so I guess like in your theory about saying, if there's only a secondary market, then what I said was wrong. Like everyone should have access to the wholesale price then. Because what's the advantage of a card store being able to buy a wholesale price means they're able to fuel the community and build this game up. But when they're charging secondary prices, all it's doing is stunting the growth of the game.
Right, and that's why I think, like, I
Yeah.
don't know that they're ever going to give it away for wholesale prices because FFG would want to make money, but I do think, like, if FFG just made enough and we could get it from FFG Direct, we wouldn't be in this problem, which I guess, like, is
Yeah,
just the
to
bottom
be
line.
some kind of like trigger where like, okay, I'm gonna buy, 14 cases. Okay, you can get the wholesale price.
Someone,
I will say this though. Shout out to Gaia's Cradle in East Providence, Rhode Island. The owner was legit. He had a bunch of extra packs after the draft, sold them all to me, so we can draft next week, guys.
yeah, shout out to them. I definitely
Yeah,
want to make
that's
it down there.
awesome.
I also heard that Untapped in Rhode Island is doing like the $600 case. So I gotta call them up. They don't have
cool.
pre-orders on their site. But someone was telling me that yesterday. So I guess like Rhode Island is the place to be for buying.
Yeah,
for buying
it's just
packs.
like the one thing about the guy selling $12 packs, like there's a reason we won't go there. You know what I mean? Like if he wants to screw over his own business, like that's on him. It just
So-
stinks that like
Yeah, my only caveat to
he
that
has
is
the
like,
product that we can't get.
if he paid $200 for the box secondary, and just so
Then he's-
people
yeah,
could buy
100%.
packs, like, and like
Yeah.
we just don't know if that's the case. But if he
Yeah,
got it for
yeah.
70 and he's selling them
I can
for 12,
probably
like, yeah.
say with 95% certainty that is not the case.
All right. Well,
Just because of
I
your
don't wanna
other
blow up
interactions,
anybody's
we won't go into it.
yeah,
I think
that's too bad.
I think one thing that's going to be a little interesting is like for set one, obviously it ran out and there was this huge demand, but it was on hand for the first 3 or 4 weeks. Like you could go into stores and just like buy a
Right.
box for 120. I remember actually like going in and being like, oh, 120, that seems like a lot. Like the first couple of days. And based upon how set two, like people buying set two based upon how set one ran out, like will people actually be like clearing out the shelves in the first weekend and then
Right.
people can't get the stuff at all moving forward? So like will this shortage sort of get accelerated? And just like everyone's doing pre-orders, but like will the larger stores just have boxes to buy like without the pre-orders? Where there'll be like reserves for people to walk in off the street and be like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to buy my kid a box, or I want to buy like a case, like you know what I mean, like that type of thing, to get their decks going. Because there will be summer tournaments too. Like I always feel like summers when tournaments kind of are at their max with like just people running them, and then you're dealing with we talking about set two decks later on, but like there's some really powerful cards out there, so like people don't actually have access to them.
Yeah.
All right,
That would really stink.
here's my nuclear set 2 take. Based on everything that's been spoiled, like I don't even want to buy boxes. Like
There's a couple goofy
there's
legendaries
a
that are
bunch
gonna
of
be a
bad
waste.
legendaries, and like
Yeah.
I'll say like I know like I'm playing at Gen Con, which is less than a month or exactly a month after the pre-release, so less than a month after release. It's very early, but every deck I play, I'm like, this is just gonna get gate kept by like a honed Boba or like a honed Sabine, and like I'll if this is the way the packs are going, I'd rather just like save my boxes for draft so we don't run into this problem again. Order 3 pose and order like whatever
Dark Sabers.
uncommons that I need for Boba Fett, and be like, all right, at least at Gen Con I'll just play Sabine and Boba and not really not really worry about putting together a collection, because like we'll talk about some of the spoilers coming out, but I'm not super impressed by these legendaries. And
the rares are great.
Yeah,
they're
the rares
easy
are great, but yeah, they're just not
They'll
gonna
be cheap. Yeah.
right. And
Yeah, I
we
think this
saw
is
some
the set to
$20
get
rares
singles.
in set 1, so like there could be some higher end rares, but it's not gonna be like, it doesn't look like I have to spend $80 on any cards this set. Even Poe is not going to be in that many decks. I think it's obviously very early.
There's obviously half a set or like 100 cards, but yeah, I agree. I think if you don't want to buy a bunch of boxes or whatever, I think this is the set to just get singles, honestly, and get them right away. Because we've seen like on TCG Player, there are people who are just going to open packs and want to recoup their investment, and you're going to get the best prices.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
that's what I did for
I think
set
that's
1
the
and
move
loved
for
it.
set
I mean,
two.
I bought my Vaders for 40. I bought my Lukes for 30. I bought my Bobas for 20. Like, I'm very happy with what I did.
I'm
for
not
set
opening
1.
9 boxes of this set.
Yeah, please.
But
next week we can do a. Damn it! And I remember we owe Maddie a box. God damn it. We should do this. Right, but we should do the price contest again.
Oh, please no.
No, please don't.
I mean,
maybe another kind of contest.
No, it means Mike has to do a math game. It's the best just for that.
All right, fine. It'd be even funnier if you made me set it up and then we're like, all right, we don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. I want to retire on top.
I didn't do that badly, and I learned a new thing about Excel. So
that's cool.
For an English teacher, I think I'd handled it okay. All right, I want to start to say goodbye to set 1. I picked the leaders that I thought most represented the meta at the most times of set 1. Although I think like the Chirrut bottom middle is like the most questionable. That's the one we could kind of like argue, but I had to make a slide, so I just made a call. It was like Chirrut or maybe Palpatine, but if someone had an idea. But these were the 9 I think were played with the most frequency. Like if you went to a local, these were the ones you were seeing. I didn't see a lot of Palpatine local. I'm sure like it had its champions. I know it had its champions. Yeah. But this felt like if you went to an event, you were going to see these.
Guaranteed.
Seems right. Yeah.
So as we say, like, I don't know, what was successful about the game set 1? I don't want to talk about like the product or FFG or anything anymore. I just mean like on the table, what was successful? What do you think the number 1 leader out of these were? And like, I guess like looking back, what was your favorite leader or favorite thing about set 1?
I really liked that it continued even now to shift weekly on terms of like what you could play and what maybe was the correct deck to play.
Yep.
How like you could continue to evolve. I think early on we were like, okay, it's set 1, like things might get stagnant. The card pool is really small, obviously with one set. And like there was that first UK event where it was like 8 Bobas in the top 8, and it was sort of, and that was one of the first big events. So it was like, okay, it's just gonna be like Boba's the best deck, hands down. And it wasn't that, right? Like Boba still did tremendously all summer, but like there was the Florida event where like the Vader deck did well, and the Sabines realized that they could beat Bobas with a certain game plan, and then the Bobas sort of swung back with things with new cards being added. So like lists shifted throughout, and people, like a good example is like the blue Boba Fett. Like that's something that wasn't a deck at all,
Yeah.
and then it became a deck like a month ago. And people have continued to evolve, so I think that's really neat. And I think with set 2 it's going to be magnified, because now you'll have like some of the forgotten set 1 archetypes might come back with like a high powered set 2 flavor, but not necessarily on like the first week, right? Like maybe it'll be like, okay, people look at Gen Con deck lists or something, and then like at the end of August all of a sudden there's like new technology. So
everyone's playing Cad Bane and they forget about Boba, and then he makes a resurgence. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to be exacerbated by the fact that we're going to have 36 leaders. Like it's going to be
Yeah, it's
impossible
gonna
to
be
incorporate
nuts.
everything.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
like
exciting to like go to tournaments with that concept, because it's like if you actually like book travel to go to something that's like big, as we've seen bigger tournaments in the fall, you can actually like try to like get ahead of the meta with your friends and like listen to your favorite podcast to get some strategy and stuff like that.
I was really happy with the leaders. I thought there's like a good diversity of, like play styles within them. I still think Boba as a 4/7 that comes out on 5 like is stupid. I think you should have 6 booty. I think it would be way more dynamic. Like I still think he's the best leader.
Agreed.
Like I think people do that, that magic article, the cascading thing that you linked to our team forever ago. Like people do that so much in this game where it's like, oh, because it's fun to try something new, right? And so like our showdown yesterday, Boba Green took it all. You know what I mean? Like it's still a really good deck, and he's a 4/7. If you don't have a plan to deal with a 4/7 on 5 resources, you can fall
especially
really
when
far
they
behind.
come out a turn early.
Yeah.
Right.
When they have 8 resources on that turn as well.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that the two of the arguably the best leaders are commons. Like the leader rarity is like more of a like maybe for draft. Like any leader can be good, which I think is cool.
Yeah, it feels like it's a draft thing, because even like the rare leaders in terms of acquiring them are very easy to get.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Like the nature of
it's definitely
it being
limited.
rare is like this is my stack of just rare leaders.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll say this: I'm hoping this time next set we get Chewie up on that screen, get some more Wookiees, get a nice little theme going there.
Could we see
Chewie's
one more?
close.
Could we see another Wookiee leader? There's obviously a Wookiee sub theme. But they gave us.
Oh, that'd be
Tarful.
wild. I didn't think.
So I wonder who would even be the Wookiee leader. I guess they could just make.
I feel like set 3 they'll do it.
I know.
I think
set
like
2
this
has
is like
enough. We have a blue hero left, right?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like my thing is like maybe it's like we saw a little bit of Underworld and a little bit of Mando in set 1, and then it comes in set 2. I was thinking like this is the undercurrent, and then they hit us with the wave in the next set. Is my like theory.
Yeah,
But
they
I don't know
may if
anything
they're just
about
building
it.
for draft and they have all this Wookiee sub theme. I
Right,
would
yeah.
imagine that they want a Wookiee leader.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what the Wookiee leader was in Legion. That like, a lot of times they draw from the other games when they're making this stuff. But anyway.
Chewie will get better though. Like I mean, the more 2 and 3 drops that come out, the better he gets.
Yeah, for sure. And there's the like they made that 2-drop 3/3 Wookiee, which is probably pretty good for him. In just like all facets of like doing a lot of damage when it comes out. I think just the balance of set 1 is my favorite thing. Like, sort of like what Justin said, you could play something new all the time, and like you could play just about any deck and have it be competitive. Like you can go to your local and like X1 with basically any deck.
Yeah,
which is
also
pretty
like,
much unheard of with the power level of some of these leaders.
Yeah, I was gonna say also like I played Command Center Vader yesterday. Like that is a starter deck. Like I think they crushed it with that one in particular. Of like, here's a deck you can take and upgrade, and like you can go and compete for a showdown.
You
Like
should
that
compare
is
that to the
freaking
upgrade
rad.
your starter deck video you made like
Yeah.
2 months ago or whatever to see like how
Yeah.
close you came.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, different meta, but yeah, it's kind of cool.
All right, well, fare thee well. Do you guys have a call out what you think the best was? Was it just Boba? Overall,
Yeah.
pound for
Yeah.
pound, all the other
I think
leaders were good.
Boba. I
But...
was.
Triggered ability, early deploy, best stats.
Yep.
Yeah, he set the tone. Like this,
Yeah.
my Sabine. I liked the Sabine deck, but it was like, okay, I think I have a plan to beat Boba with it
Yeah.
that I feel comfortable with. Like it all was grounded there.
Yeah, you're right. Every
Boba
single
was more
conversation begins and ends with, "But can this deck beat Boba?"
Yeah.
Right.
Or
And like
in hopes that no one will play it.
The fact that there were like also just really quick, like you could play any color Boba and it would be good because of like how good his ability and his deploy is versus like other decks sometimes like have a good card pool and that kind of does it, whereas like Boba is just straight good. So like
And he
yeah, sure,
has
like yeah.
Bosk and Cantina Bouncer on
Right.
his flip curve that trigger his ability for you, and just it's almost like it builds itself. Everything else you have to work a little bit harder to build, but
Even a
his builds
Lackey's.
itself. Yeah, or
Yeah.
or Lackey, right?
Yeah, more those
Yeah,
guys because they're
so
they're
good.
in any deck.
Right.
Mhm.
All
Bye
right.
guys.
Let's talk about
Cool.
set 2 spoilers since the last 2 weeks. So I went back 2 weeks and just pulled what I thought were like interesting ones to talk about, starting out with Gar Saxon, who's a 4/7 Mandalorian Imperial official. I didn't realize he was Imperial. That's cool.
Yeah.
He gives, for both sides, he gives a friendly upgraded unit +1/+0, and then when he's a unit, you can return upgrades that were attached to this unit to its owner's hand if he's defeated. So you can kind of like go all in on upgrades on him and not worry about losing your card advantage. You're only losing action and resource advantage.
If you haven't watched it yet, go watch my Gar Saxon video. Shout out to Justin for like bringing up that shield.deck idea, and I kind of like ran with it.
Yeah, and you played this guy against me, Matt, and like completely overran me with 7th Fleet Defenders in space.
And it was cool because like you played Bosk too. Like it wasn't like you weren't prepared for the shields. Like you pinged him off. You know what I mean? So that was like probably the hardest matchup to kind of run it into.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second, but like I played against Wu playing Cad Bane, and that was way harder because his pings were just free. They were in like in every turn, which made it way tougher.
I think
so
good. I think good for sure. Not broken. I don't think his ability really makes sense to be broken. I think could be good. I don't think he's bad. I think the shield concept and like upgrades in general, like anything going on a guide, is giving that extra plus is powerful. Go back to the +1/+0. Like I think that's really strong ability. I made the hero Boba video based upon that. Like those little abilities. You look at a card like Red 3. It's so powerful, and oftentimes it's like maybe triggering 1 card or 2 cards per game, but it's like a must kill. So being able to buff all these units, and then his ability, and he's got like good. He comes out a little late, but he's got solid stats. It's a bit ambiguous on like which direction you can play with him. Like you could do the upgrade version, but you could also do you could do like the shield version, but you could also just play like 12 upgrade cards in your deck if you really want that sort of more of like a fanboy fun type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's unclear what color combination to go with him too.
You could go green and play those Imperial stuff.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like give an experience token in green, which is really good.
Right,
I think like what makes him better is that there's so many. This game is designed uniquely that there's so many units who come into play already upgraded, which makes this kind of ability have a lot of potential. Yeah. So that's what I like most about it. It's just like having those guys who come in shielded, or having there's a bunch of like the 2-drop Imperial ship that gives an experience token to another thing. All that stuff. I can imagine like a Gar Saxon Tarkin Twin Sons deck being pretty nuts.
That'd be sick.
Be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, like some of the upgrades, like the blaster and snapshot reflexes, like you're only getting extra value if they stick on. They're still like like a spell. Like there's still like a surprise strike or first, a shoot first. So like it's not the end of the world if they get binned.
And they're cheap, and like the gun officially comes out of your resource row. So
so stuff like that is good. Steve, from a draft perspective, I mean, I know we haven't seen the whole set, but like when you see a card like this, like how do you evaluate it?
I think he's going to be really strong in drafts. Like Mike said, there's a lot of units already coming to play upgraded, so it's kind of like a free bonus right there. And then the big thing is when you flip him, just having the card advantage of being able to play upgrades and getting him back that turn. I think he'll be a lot better. I don't think he's that great, to be honest, in constructed. But I think he's going to be a bomb in draft.
Yeah, my worry about him in constructed is that like he's good on his like he's not even that good as a unit, and he comes out late. So like you're really playing it for the non-flip side, and you're not gaining a lot by flipping him, unless you're like fully suiting him up. And then like what have you been doing for the last 5 turns or whatever?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my only hesitation.
Yeah. My idea with that is like you gotta really press them, and then you flip him and blaster him, and that's like. If they kill him, then you just get the blaster whoever lives, finisher. And you're probably gonna get there on the next turn. But
all right,
yeah, Cad Bane kind of hurts the shield. Oh yeah,
speaking of, this guy's pretty nuts. Comes out at 6. He's got raid 2. So he's a 2/8 that hits for 4/8, and when you play an underworld card, you may choose an opponent. If you do an opponent, choose a unit they control, and then when he's a leader, it deals 1 damage. But when he's flipped, it's 2 damage. That's when it triggers when you play an underworld card. So we have an underworld bounty hunter with a triggered leader ability, which we see in Boba Fett.
On the hierarchy.
One of the things we just shouted out Boba Fett for being really strong. This guy comes out a turn later, but his stats are arguably better. I mean, he's got the bigger booty. He does not die to a steadfast battalion or don't get cocky. He only deals 2 back when you attack him, but if he attacks you, he's hitting for 4.
And also, he would look really good with a mustache. So shout out to Cad Bane. We're gonna draw some mustaches on him and hand him out.
His mouth and his nose are like more connected than a human. I don't see any mustache room.
No, we can make
on
it
a
happen.
Duros, but we maybe.
We need a good card. We need a good card to do like custom alters for like a mustache though. Like it might not be Cad, but there has to be a leader that's like zoomed in. Maybe Luke or something.
Figure that out, and I'll do the board.
Do that.
Who would be Cad Bane in our like alternate KTOD spoof art thing that I'm kind of cooking up? I know we're supposed to talk about the card, but I really want to just say like would I want to see like Mike with the double blaster and the hat on.
I would take Cad Bane. I freaking love Cad Bane. He's one of my all-time favorite Star Wars characters.
He's great.
He's
I'll tell Todd to get working.
Wars.
Yeah. As a card though, I do think he's really good, but the biggest problem I have with him is if you're gonna be playing a yellow leader, why are you not playing Boba?
That's
like
my
it kind
thing.
of always just circles right back to that.
When I go build the Cad Bane deck, and I've done it a couple times and haven't saved any of them because every time I do, I'm like, this feels way too fair. I wish I was just playing Boba Fett, and that seems to be how I feel about a lot of things. That's how I felt yesterday at the store showdown that I didn't do well at, and I was just like, anytime I'm playing anything else, I'm like, I should just be playing Boba Fett.
Yeah, I think I played like a game, I forget who it was against, but I was like, wait, why am I not untapping resource?
Yeah,
like,
the untapping is so good.
Like
anyway.
it
Waylay
was
into like playing a Greedo, like how do they
yeah,
so
like
far
cards
behind.
like Waylay just aren't as good, like Boss
Right,
isn't as
and
good.
that's the thing.
I think he's powerful,
We
but
think Waylay's good, but in the end, like when it's not in Boba Fett, it's far less good. So I do think he's powerful, and I think like Relentless Pursuit. Like I was talking to Wu about it the other day, and I think Relentless Pursuit is way better than I originally gave it credit for.
Oh yeah.
And like having a leader with Bounty Hunter is going to make that card busted, and it's going to make these Bounty Hunter leaders busted. And like trust me, I do think it's better with Boba, but this Cad Bane damage trigger is really good. Like it clears the way for like your whole board, and like there's so many cheap underworld cards with things like McClunky. Even if you don't have one to play, like even if it's like one of those turns, like you've already built your board and you want to play an event, like McClunky for 1, or if you have Jabba out for free to be able to recur a Greedo or a Bazine or something cheap to also trigger this, and like not even have to worry about like attacking into units heavily, because like you're just able to clean up the board so easily when they're pinging their guys. And because it comes online immediately, like you're not going to face too many board states where they have like a million guys and it doesn't matter who get pinged for them. Like you get to just turn 1.
Yeah, he gets to kill. I mean, with Tarkin Town, you get to kill their turn 1 play if you just or pass. But like,
and God forbid they play a Greedo.
Yeah, true. Yeah, good point. But I think like that's his advantage. But then like, what is he doing on like the turns like 3 and 4, where Boba can just start, putting more bulk into the board, and then you're kind of like, all right, I've used my Tarkin Town. They've still got their ECL or something along those lines. And it's
I would imagine the Tarkin Town can get you pretty far ahead, but then it doesn't counter.
But
the
then
ECL.
what? Yeah, exactly.
He needs like an engine, I think. Like that's the thing. Like I think he can be like an aggro crusher. Like
What
he
about
can do
that
some really
card
cool.
that returns something to your hand?
That's McClunky.
That's McClunky, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So like
is that the one that lets you replay it? I thought it was.
Oh, that's it's a double yellow
that one.
card, so you could play it in mono yellow.
Is it double yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would trigger 2 for 2.
Yeah.
And that's really good as well. It's just like I think what Justin's saying is like you can do the engine, but like are you pushing? Like are you able to do it?
How
and
far ahead
push
are you getting?
damage and like
Yeah, like what does it look like after you do that? Okay, like you've gotten a few cheap units, you killed their thing, you're up. You certainly will be up a unit, but then it's like, okay, you're not super aggressive to be able to continue to push that advantage. And say like a card like and obviously like they can play cap removal.
Yeah.
But, like opponent plays like a unit Boba Fett, or the Sabine deck plays that new 1/5, or the blue-white decks play like a Yoda, and then it's like, or Keenan, and it's,
Bosk
you know
kills
what I
a lot
mean?
more things with this guy, which is pretty
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
Yeah, 'cause he gets
Bosk
the
is
ping,
good,
too.
but he's like, he's coming out. Maybe you're green to be like, well, you're not green if you're using Tarkin Town, and Bosk is coming out on turn 4. It just seems a little bit stiff in the mid game. And I could be wrong. It could be playing like a bunch of units. One thing I think was a missed opportunity is like, this would have been really, certainly broken. It's maybe good they didn't do it, but like if it wasn't once per turn, if you could actually
that
just like
probably
play a
would've
lot
been-
of little guys, like there
probably-
isn't really like I think even the Sabine decks went for like a more like curve towards the as they became more competitive. Like it'd be nice to see a deck with like 18 1-drops or something like that.
Yeah, I think it would have been too busted to do it for free, as many turns as
Right.
you want. But like maybe the first
As
one's
an
free,
action or
and then
something,
maybe
yeah.
the first one's free, and the second one you have to like pay 1 for,
Right.
or something.
I mean, his flip, like dealing the 2 damage, like it's not the same, but like Vader caught like Vader on 7, right? 1 more power, but like attacks for 5 and pings. Like he has some good. There is some good stuff with Cad. I just think like you could take all your time, kind of like dirtling and like out tempoing them and pinging stuff, but like when you get to 6 resources, like Boba has fire spray that comes to play on tap. Like, where is your end game? Like,
Where's your end game?
If we had like a evil droid, like a C-3PO, like something that kind of like fueled the fire. Well, I don't know what that bad droid is. The one that looks like a trash can. Yeah, 000. Like, let's get 000 in
It
there.
is an evil C-3PO. Not
yeah, and let's get some kind of engine, and then I think it would push it over the top. So I'm going to say good in Premiere. I think it's going to be broken in Draft. I think it's going to be another good leader.
Well, his ship directly counters fire spray too. It kills fire spray.
It doesn't come to play ready though.
Yeah, but it exhausts. It exhausts the fire spray, right? Doesn't it exhaust on play?
Yeah,
you have to exhaust something else. But yeah,
okay.
He could. Yeah,
you have to bounce something else.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Or
I think. I think it'll be on that grid you just showed of like 10 or 9 leaders. Like it'll make that grid.
Gotcha.
He's gonna be played. You're gonna see Cad in.
But we have a lot of cards left too. There could be something insane that comes up.
You're gonna see good players playing this at real events.
All right.
Yep.
I'm gonna
100%.
say good.
Good.
All right, Fenra, new blue 6-drop, neutral blue.
Everyone do
it. 2 guys in a row with the double guns. When you play an upgrade from your hand, it costs 2 less. So when played, you may play an upgrade from your hand, and it costs 2 less. And when you play an upgrade to this unit, give an enemy unit -2/-2 for the phase. So this is a 6-drop. One of the things about high-cost cards that people have had a problem with is that they don't do enough to affect the board. And this guy, depending on what you play on him, like a legal authority, can certainly affect the board pretty easily. So he can kill something, he can neuter something. We still have to find out. I don't know if this works, but you could play legal authority to make something smaller and then steal it. I'm not sure if that's going to work. I'm guessing the way I think is no, but like I could
Yes.
be wrong.
Yeah. You said
When
no.
played,
I
when
think
you play.
When you play an upgrade
So,
on this unit, and I'm not sure like if when played
You
happens
have to
first.
target.
I just don't know. We'll just have to wait and find out. But anyway,
yeah.
you can build a bomb guy. You can play an upgrade that does something like steal a guy, or deal damage to something. Like if there's something akin to a Vader's lightsaber that you can add, you just get to play the dark saber on this guy for 2, which is pretty
Yep.
bonkers because he's a Mandalorian. So he seems good with a lot of potential. I don't know if he'll ever be good enough because like I don't know if upgrades will ever be good enough to like be really competitive. But he seems like an absolute bomb in draft, like a bomb uncommon
Right.
you would want to hit.
Yeah. Bomb uncommon in draft. Context will be key, but on the face of the power level, solid. Like
Solid.
for
Yeah.
6, you get a unit, you get an upgrade, and you affect the board. Pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
it
think
just kind of
he's-
depends on like, how much bounce, hate, whatever. Like what can you pair with him, like the legal authority thing or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Blue's got a lot of those 2-cost upgrades like Protector and Devotion card, and even those ones are reasonable on it. It's a card that theoretically can kill 2 things,
Yeah.
which is always nice. But when you have to have 2 cards in hand, I could see discard being kind of tough against him. We've seen some strong discard stuff out of red. So, like, how do you have exactly what you want? Keep the upgrade and keep this unit in your hand and your resourcing on 6. But I mean, you probably
Well, one thing that I think my brain kind of cut out by like comparing the when played to when played on this unit, you don't have to play the upgrade on Fen. You can play it on
Right.
anything. So you could
Yeah.
just play the Dark Saber for 2 on something else,
Yeah.
or you could play the
Yeah.
Devotion on something else, and
Yeah,
not
that's
lose that
interesting.
tempo.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be tapped or whatever. That's a good
Yeah, you
point.
could like put it on like Iden
Right.
Yeah.
or like Gar Saxon. I guess that's
Also like triggers Mandalorian too. So like sometimes when I've been playing Mando, like the 6 drops, even like the legendary Mando have been kind of like, yeah, he's a sentinel, but they could bounce him whatever. Like at least here it's like I get my guy, I get my tap effect, and maybe I kill somebody. Like that would feel really good. That'd be like doing a bunch.
Yeah, it seems actually pretty busted in Mando to be able to get your
Yeah.
guy and suit something up and hopefully like attack for more damage or whatever while you're
Yeah.
tapping.
And in
That's a
that
good
deck,
call.
I'm doing the like C3PO heavy 2-drop suite. So that like
You gotta
when I
have the
see the 2,
cards.
it's like
Yeah, everything's twos
Yeah,
and
I
6s.
actually now that I realize that the upgrade can go on anybody, I like this guy a lot more, and I already thought
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
was
it's a
pretty
lot
good.
better. Yeah.
yeah. I would say in the
I think
high
that-
end of the good.
Yeah, good with a lot of potential.
Broken in
A
limited.
lot of potential. Like you're gonna want to stare at this guy
Yeah.
for a bit with your
Yep.
upgrades.
Yeah, I would imagine this is like a pretty common pick one, pack one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, limited. Yeah.
What do you think, Stevie?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Especially, it'll be curious to see how they format the draft. Because if it's all set too, then you don't really have to worry about waylay. So not knowing there's no waylay.
There are
Just
there
like the
are
rebel.
new waylays though.
Are there?
Oh, are they
Yeah.
putting Waylay in set 2, or do you mean the rebel?
No,
thing?
I mean there's a hero one.
The hero one. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the I guess it's not a waylay, but I count
Spare
like
the
the
target.
relentless pursuit capture one is kind of
Along those
waylay.
lines. Okay. Yeah.
But still less
that
you have to
maybe-
worry about.
The upgrades aren't getting that much better as I was thinking. But like I mean, the draft I played yesterday, I got waylaid like 3 times, and it's just annoying.
Yeah.
Waylay is annoying.
Hell of a card.
Yeah, I like this for Gar too. Like you said, like put the upgrade on Gar, and then it is protected from. Obviously, you can't do a lot of things to leaders, but even if they are able to figure it out, you get it back in hand.
Not a combo with snapshot
Snap on
reflexes. Just so everyone knows.
What do you mean?
Not on
That was a-
himself, but you could snapshot somebody else.
You can
Yeah.
snapshot
Oh,
someone
yeah.
else, but people were saying like, "Oh, you could attack right away with snapshot."
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
recognizing.
people really
not
struggle with
coming
the
in ready.
whole come into play tapped thing.
Yeah.
CIPT.
Whatever. Fenra, one of the most busted units in X-Wing, so I would expect him to be kind of strong.
Oh,
In
cool.
fact, they made him twice, and he was good in both Scum and
The unit's so
Rebel.
nice they made it twice. Ooh.
I almost didn't include him because I think he's so broken, but I figured we might as well just announce to the world our feelings. I think Ambush Overwhelm is broken on a 7/6/7 drop. Like those stats are nuts.
Yeah.
And then you can even just not make him take damage if you want. You could give the damage to another underworld unit.
And he's a rare?
And he's just a regular.
Yeah, only a rare.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now,
I think
any
he's
deck that
really
you
good.
were like, oh, I don't want to buy Vaders for $300, so I'm not going to play this deck. Now you just have this guy instead. And like, does he auto replace Vader in Boba Fett? I don't think so, but it's close. If you have enough underworld stuff, you might. Like if
I
the
mean,
Imperial stuff goes away.
It's sick that we get that question so much about like, I just couldn't spring for Vaders, and now we have like the perfect 1-1. You know what I mean? Like play him and make your deck a little more underworldy. I also like to see more green force units. So
yeah,
he seems great.
You don't need to use that ability. Like you can just there's so many things he's gonna kill and not die back. So
Ambush Overwhelm is just gross.
Ambush Overwhelm is great. I also think like just change like a deck. There's the Vader like which one's better thing, but now with like you could do 6 and always have one of these guys come out and just do like the removal thing, and you're always playing a Maul or Vader. Yeah. And then like you're like, okay, the game's gonna start on. I mean, you play resupply in that deck clearly, but like the game's gonna start with, me playing one of those guys and really kind of that's my game plan, like slowing the game down a bit. So that's one thing where I think it's kind of cool that it's not necessarily tension with Vader, and maybe you want to play 4 and like you do like 3 and 1 or something like that. But then the other side of it is just how easy it is to set up like 6 damage with his overwhelm ability.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you're able to play overwhelming barrage and like leave something, or like
dangling,
or just all those times when you just can't kill multiple things, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm thinking like the 6 damage part is the part where I'm like maybe he is always better than Vader, if like because like Boba Fett does want to close out the game quickly against a lot of matchups, and this
that's what I was gonna say.
And it
one of the
doesn't
biggest
restrict
things
you
we
from
found
having
is
to
that
play. Sorry, like you don't have to play, like you don't have to like put enough villain cards in your deck now with Vader. Like you can just play this guy.
One of the biggest things we found with like Boba is like when to flip the switch from like I'm the control to like they have to deal with me ending the game. And like when I lost to Boba yesterday in the top 4, like surprise strikes and fire sprays, like that does a lot of damage fast. And now you add Maul to the equation. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They can just end the game like that.
Yeah, and
so
putting
I think
anything down as a liability.
His ability with like all the shielded underworld guys is pretty cool too. Like it's not like you're just killing your own guy, or like you're actually like okay, I'll trade a shield with the 1/3 that like Vendilion clicks a card, or like a Crafty or something, and now all of a sudden it's like he's just turning himself into almost like a Han.
Right. Yeah.
Like the 7-cost Han.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, he's great.
And that's a great point you make about not even have to use the ability. Like I'm thinking like, like that Vader deck I played, like Piet in this guy. Or you don't need Piet, but like just like the ability for him to come in and finish the game is kind of insane.
Piet built in, bro.
I know that was a goof.
Yeah, I think he's broken, and when I start testing Green Boba in set 2, I'm just gonna play like probably 3 Maul, 1 Vader. But I do
like sideboard option.
Vader in green yellow last set like isn't the most broken. Like we found like the blue pairing was really good, or like grabbing a Sentinel
to make it good,
but like
I mean I played Cellblock Guard and Green Vader for a long time just to have one to pull.
Yeah. So I'm saying like it could be just you want 3 and 1 or something like that.
Yeah, it's really underwhelming to like play a SLT off of Vader. Like you want to hit that 7th Fleet Defender, or like maybe a Seasoned Shore Trooper, but like those fell out of favor pretty quickly.
Whereas Maul, it's just gonna So I would say broken on Maul. You don't need Piet. He's got a built-in Piet. That was a goof.
All right, Cobb Vanth 3-drop, neutral green, fringe official, 3/2. So he does turn on Emperor's Royal Guards, which is pretty interesting.
Ooh.
When defeated, search the top 10 cards of your deck for a unit that costs 2 or less and discard it. For this phase, you may play that card for free from your discard pile. Actually, that makes it even more interesting that he's an official now, because you could play him in Palpatine, then he gets the other official if they were to somehow like take him out and turn it on.
Mike, this should be your art. This is the tank top I was talking about. This is the tank top armor. This is perfect. Look at you. Don't have the beard today, but I could see a Mike Cobb Vanth.
Well, Steve knows. Like, when you went with me when I was gonna get my sleeve, right? I was thinking about getting Boba Fett's armor
Yep.
as my half sleeve when I was gonna get a tattoo, and then found out I was having a kid like 2 hours later, and never booked the
Rip.
appointment. Yeah, I mean, this is cool. I think this card's good. I know Justin was really high on this card, which is why I wanted to include it and see what he thought.
Yeah, I think this card. So with all the like power cards, we're always like good, bad, broken. I'm always like we say like the best cards are broken, but like to me, broken is like when you're talking about like a banning type of thing, where you're like this card is just breaks like a rule of the game.
Yeah.
And I think this guy's absolutely one of the first ones we've seen that just opens up that avenue. Like, there's so many decks that it's like try to one for one you. So like if you think about like all the villain control decks, like this card is so good, almost like potentially so powerful, like he actually like just pushes those decks out of the equation. Because they can't just like removal, and then have their like two for one themselves the turn your leader comes out. But that's fine because they've got like such a better top end. They're eventually going to get you. Like this card, like the 2-drop cards are strong. Both villain and control have good 2-drops. You can like A-wing. You can think about like crafties and probe droid. There's enough power there. Kylo's tie. It's not just a ground unit. You can get the officials.
Yeah.
You get some like regional governors, like really interesting, especially like later in the game.
Yeah.
And his stats are decent, but like just the ability to like get another card. Like if you think about all the card games we played, like cards that get other cards are like so good. Like thinking about like, back to like the versus system game, where like the Ola Pet card and like just all these like little things that Dr. Light like came to mind. So I think this guy's broken. And like you think about like if you play him once, like okay, you're up a unit. Like imagine playing this guy twice in the context of a game. Imagine playing him with like the synergies that like there are. Like he has synergies like heroic sacrifice. Like you like
Yeah.
kill something, draw a card, get a unit. Like you're never gonna lose that game.
It's a lot of cards.
It's just a lot of cards. Like I think about like Boba Fett losing to like the Vader control decks, and now like imagine slamming this. Like imagine going like Probe Droid into this guy. Like it's gonna force control decks to probably like play more units because like they're gonna have to play stuff with like more than 3 defense, which they can obviously like Lieutenant Chilston and stuff like that. But then like you get to play, your removals turned on like with your waylays and your like capture cards.
You
I
like
don't know.
force them to fight on the ground and then you tempo them. And their whole
Exactly.
game is supposed to be something else. Because you can't 1-for-1 this card. Like they get ahead. You know what I mean?
You get ahead, and like the units that you're gonna continue to see good 2-drops. Like we like every color combination has some good 2-drops. Like the 2-drops aren't super powerful, but like you're gonna be able to get them. It's 10 cards, so like you're not gonna whiff very often.
No.
So you're gonna get like an A-wing, you're gonna get like a Sabine unit, you're gonna get a Kylo's tie, a probe droid. Like those cards hit. Like he basically replaces himself. It's like it's almost like those cards that die, like a kitchen finks, right? Like replaces himself with sort of a it's actually exactly like a kitchen thing.
Hey, I have a question. Did we ever figure out the frontline shuttle thing? Can you play it a second time? Like it's just for this phase, you may play that card from your discount power.
Yeah, like
can
what's
you
the card?
No, yeah, because it would say cards with that name. You see this with Kira's text. She specifically says like you can't play cards with that name. So a card is a card and a card has a name. So you can only play that card from your discard pile.
Cool. That's a good thing to clear up because I'm sure people have that question for it.
Like, no, it's not the same card. It would say otherwise. It would say you can play cards with that name.
With that name.
So like,
so the card is like the physical one copy or one instance, right? I don't know.
It'd be a one instance.
It's the same
card.
If
it's the one copy, it's the same card. It goes
like,
back and forth.
Right, yeah. If it's the same copy, yeah. Sorry, I didn't understand what you were asking. If you got this guy and played and got the like the 2-drop 3/1 ambush and put it in there and killed someone, like so you put it in your discard, then you play it for free. He kills someone. If you have like you can and then you could do it again.
Yeah, he's great with that.
So you can machine gun that guy, which is why I actually should have put him next.
So you can do it. So you can do it in Modi, you can do it frontline shuttle, you can do it with things like that.
Because it's for this phase, yeah. So anything. So that's
what I thought.
Phase is a turn.
So to clarify, you can machine gun the ambush guy, or you could do like a crazy frontline shuttle thing.
Right.
Which means like
Admiral Modi Vader type thing.
U-wing in this guy is also kind of insane,
right? You could do infinite Modis, right? And I guess like that was the point I was going to make is that like if there's a broken combo that centers around a 2-drop, Like
Yeah,
this gives
this
you
guy's-
6 of that guy. So and makes it just easier to find the second one if it's something like Mahdi, where like you ambush this guy in, so he kills something and dies, and you just know he's coming out. But like, yeah, if you have this guy in Green Vader, like you have him on board the turn you flip Vader, then like, yeah, you could like.
It's
Yeah,
still
can't you
10
just-
cards. You'd have to hit them. Like it's not guaranteed you're gonna hit
No, but
the
if you can play
whatever,
a
but
Mahdi
it's still
for free
insane.
for the whole turn, you
Yeah,
just
it's
reset
disgusting.
Vader
Or
every
frontline
time.
shuttle. Even if like you play both and like okay, shuttle doesn't win you the game, but it clears the whole.
Has this been talked
ground.
about? I don't follow like any of the spoiler channels.
People
but, like,
mentioned frontline shuttle, but
why
sometimes
not
our
Mahdi?
Discord just it has so many people right now. Things move so quick that like I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you
You
could
still
just.
have
You
to
just
kill
have to
your
have the
own Mahdi.
enough resources
No,
to
but
pull
if
it
you
off.
have
Well,
Vader
it's
leader,
free.
he just kills Mahdi every time, and then you replay it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd have to not kill.
So it's a one-turn kill with Vader.
Yeah,
If it works the way which the language makes sense that for this phase you may play that card from your Discord.
People will talk in the comments about it if it works.
Yeah,
and
comment
it
if
works.
we're
Oh, you're
wrong
right.
or
This
some
card,
rules people.
I don't see how it could be, but
broken.
this card's getting
Could be
banned.
banned.
This card's getting banned. First ban.
Yeah, I
Shit.
think it's
like
I
delete
think
this tape
that's
so then
the
we
first
can
ban.
break it for Gen Con.
All right, now I got
Yeah,
a deck
right.
too. All right,
Don't
we're cutting
publish
the
that.
podcast short. I got to go build a deck. All right, we're at about an hour, so we should probably. I still
How many
have.
slides we got left? Oh boy.
I have a bunch of
Oh, my.
spoilers here, but we don't have to do that many. We can
No.
skip through. All right, good, bad, broken. The Dark Saber.
Good.
Very good.
Good. Gross. That's a sick artwork too. I will say that.
Yeah, finally some good art.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't look too traced, but the Dark Saber always looks good.
What's
Maybe a
keeping me
sick
from
art
broken
business.
is like it's expensive. It doesn't action cheat, so like
Mhm.
but I think it's like one of those really good. And I think it was like someone on our team, maybe even like it's a good like game one can win you the game, but like once they're prepared for it, probably need to chill on it. Yeah.
Board it out. But like it does its job. Not every card has to be good in every single turn of every single game in a best of 3.
That's a good
so
point.
like we talked about it a little bit in the Discord, but like you have so many actions on the Sabine flip turn. Like think about all the ways people try and wait out the takedown. Like they can't. So like this is one of those things that they can't wait out, and you're going to swing for 7 with Sabine. And if they can't deal with it right away, she's going to hit for 14. And if they do deal with it, it's probably going to take a bunch of cards or their whole turn, possibly 2 turns to do.
Yeah, I love it.
And like if they hold the takedown for Sabine, like there's so much more Mandos now. You're like, okay, just play it on
this guy.
someone else.
Play it on a 1/5.
Play it on
Mando.
Sabine unit. Now she's
Is there a
6. You can't
Mando
take her down.
anthem, like one that just constantly buffs, like Dodonna for Mandos?
No,
Not yet.
Not yet, because that's another like
coming.
takedown card. All right.
Yeah.
In the essence of moving on,
Very
Krayt
good.
Dragon 9-drop 10/10 overwhelm. When an opponent plays a card, you may deal damage equal to that card's cost to their base or a ground unit they control. So if you play a ground unit against this thing, it can just like kill it, or not necessarily kill it, but like you basically can't come to the ground against a Krayt Dragon. You have to attack
it's really
it from
tough.
the sky.
Yeah.
This is a crazy 9-drop legendary.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons why I don't want to buy a box, but I think it's a cool card.
I think it's good. I think like if you're playing a red ramp deck, like you can pretty feasibly put this out in like your sideboard against control. Like
Yeah, interesting how it fits
think
into the
Vader.
control like puzzle.
can't be super laser blasting it, but
Yeah,
they
like
could.
it just does
It's
the
good, but
damage.
it's easy to
Yeah.
get rid of, like Vanquish or
The
whatever.
new,
like,
any removal.
yeah.
I mean,
Whereas,
Vanquish
like,
with 5 damage to yourself. Like, does the damage matter that much? You know what I mean?
we'd
Like,
have to see how the games go. Yeah.
Right.
Like no one's
you
gonna.
can pee it with him, Maddie.
What's that?
Can you pee it? You can pee it with him.
Oh
There
yeah.
you go.
See, there we go. Now we're talking. All right, I'm on board. Definitely gonna try it. This is good.
Yeah,
Good
I
card.
think it's probably bad, but has a really high potential. Like I don't think it'll be constructed playable, but it's one of those. Like Magic did this every set. I always had a red mythic that cost like 6, 7, or 8 that you could build a deck around, but no one ever did.
Yeah.
So we just talked about the Cloud Rider. This is the cheapest ambush unit. Is this card bad? Is it broken because it's the cheapest? I don't think it's broken. I don't even know if it's good, but it's probably
really?
fine.
people seem to really love this card. I mean, I get like, okay, you're like, you kill something early. It's like a 2-mana removal that also presses the advantage, but like, it also just there's a lot of actions that kill it for free, and like not for free, but
Well, it's gonna die to
like a
whoever.
Vader.
You know what I mean? Unless something gives it shoot. Like if you're ambushing, you're dying, right? One health.
guess
it's
I'm-
not surviving
Obviously,
against
yeah.
much. Yeah.
I'm thinking like contacts with Cobb. That seems insane. But maybe
Yeah.
that's more of a Cobb thing than a this thing. But it's still a tool. And then like you could have like a nice Boba turn one where it's like Cloud Rider, untap Crafty or something. That feels pretty good.
Yeah, if they start ground like an aggro
Or-
unit,
or,
an
I
aggro
mean,
deck
Greedo,
starting
rather.
ground, and you're
Greedo.
Cobb,
That
and
would
you
work.
include this guy,
Yeah.
like being able to ambush Cobb, kill something, bring this guy in, kill something, and play him again. Like that's kind of interesting, but it's pretty narrow. They have to like,
Yeah.
you have to have those. You have to like be wanting to play a green yellow ECL deck that
Right.
like, yeah, I don't know. And they start on the ground. I don't know. It's good. There's some play.
I guess like maybe it's actually like sort of better like in Boba like mid game, just to like they attack with a unit. Like they say they attack with a unit, you play this, kill the other thing, untap and play like a 3-drop. You know what I mean? Like on your turn 4, your 4 resource turn. Like the turn before the Boba turn. Like they've just got like maybe it's like a Battlefield Marine, or maybe it's like a Greedo, and you just kill something, like you trade, and then they're sort of up against it because you use the action. So it's almost like a 1 mana removal, because 3 is pretty high.
Yeah, I agree. With Boba Fett, it's like a 1 mana removal that
Yeah.
that lets you like curve out a little bit better. Also
Yeah.
interesting that with Cad, this thing can kill 4 HP stuff, which is
Yeah.
tough. Which has been a struggle for decks.
Mhm.
Obviously, they need to only have one thing.
That
out to
ruling
ping.
with Cobb can't be right though, because if you think about it, this guy would just be able to completely kill everything on the ground.
I mean, on the face of the language,
I don't know how it couldn't be. It says for this phase, you may play that card from your discard pile for free.
Like imagine just being like, they've got like a great board, and you're like ECL Cobb, sacrifice him, and then he's
Yeah, this
rider,
guy
you
can
rider,
machine
you
gun.
rider,
that's
you
what we're
rider, you
saying.
rider.
Yeah, machine
No, I
gun
know
killing.
that,
You
but
gotta
that
have
just can't
resources
be.
to do it though.
No, it's
No,
free.
it's
free,
free.
though.
He does it for free.
Does it for
That's why we
free?
think he could be banned. They
I
could just,
think
you know what they could do
that's
though? They
not
could have
the
they could just set in the sub rules like when when you play a card for free, it's only once per phase.
Or
If it's
that's
limited to once
I
per
don't even,
phase,
if they
then it's
if they
different.
need to, they can easily fix this by being like, this card is itself when you play it and ceases to be the same card like when it's in the graveyard again.
All I
You
would
know
have
what
to
I
say
mean?
is once per
Yeah.
phase
Or
you
just
can
do
play this
that.
card for free, but it
Oh,
doesn't
man.
say that.
The comments are all going to be about
Yeah,
how
whatever.
we misinterpreted
People yelling at
Cobb.
us.
You know
but
what?
It
People
seems
yelling
Interaction
at us
is
about our
good.
roles.
Comment
Sorry,
on how
guys.
wrong we are, please.
We don't
Everyone
have-
like, comment, subscribe.
We don't
Yeah.
have PhDs in Cobb.
Yeah, sorry.
Also,
I'll
you
sell
don't need to
PhD.
know the
6 credits
rules.
away
You don't
from
need
being a
to
Cobb.
know the rules to win games. So we know that.
True.
Oh, I like that. I like that, Mike. Look at you go.
Mustache life. I'm feeling emboldened.
Yes, sir.
All right, 6-drop, Emphas Nest, 5/4 ambush. While a friendly unit, including this one, is attacking using ambush, the defender gets -3/-0. And see, they do that bullshit like including this one. Like, yes, we're spoon feeding you how the rules work, and they didn't do that for Cobb, so I think like it's pretty clear. But
And people still don't know how the rules work.
I know. So I don't hate that. I know some people are really high on it, but for 6 cost, 5/4, I know you get to like disarm them or whatever with the -3/-0.
It's like a mini Han.
Yeah.
But it's a little underwhelming for 6. I get the same stats, on 5 with Steadfast Lackey, and I don't know that the -3/-0 matters as much to me. Like I don't know if I'm keeping a 5/4 out is really going to change my life, but
I like it with obviously Boba leader, right? Like it's statted
There
up
we go,
then.
back to
It gets
Boba,
6.
and Cad.
Well, no, Hero Boba this time.
Oh yeah, with Hero Boba it's started to 6. With
yeah.
Cad it
6,
pings.
You have to go
4.
yellow though.
That'd be a weird deck. Hero
Seems
Boba
good.
yellow.
It seems good. Doesn't seem.
It's just like ambush deck.
I think people are
it's
looking
okay.
at yellow for him because of the ambush units and because of the Boba Fett armor, but
It's ambush deck.
this seems fine, but I think I'm lower on it than most.
I think it's broken in draft, and I don't think I think power level good context though, probably not getting played.
Yeah, the 6s are just so good too. Like that's the
there's
thing.
so
Like
much
the
other things
opportunity
you could be doing.
cost. is hard.
Art's cool.
It's kind of a neat
the
like
UK Game Expo mat.
Yeah.
it's kind of
That
neat
mat's
that
sweet.
like Han is the 7-cost Han, like kind of like that guy just has like straight up first strike, and this guy kind of does, and they're obviously they were linked, like Infus Nest got like backed by Han with all the Calaxium whatever, so it's kind of like a neat little flavor.
Yeah.
All right, last card. The card that broke
the
the
card
game.
that ended the game.
Everyone's upset about Rivals Fall, defeat a
Oh
unit.
my goodness, get over it.
I think this card is completely fine.
Yeah, is our podcast ending? Is the KTOD no more?
Yeah, the game. I know.
Why
Box
is
it up,
everyone upset
guys.
about it?
Because
they think it's like gonna.
Because you
end
can kill
the game's over
leaders.
now.
Just like straight up kill a unit.
Like now like everything's bad because it dies to Doomblade. Like
because before it was like dies to takedown, dies to open fire. It's like
now
there's
people
ways to interact with the game. Like we saw with Sabine. Oh, they're holding 4 up and just like waiting there. Okay, play a 4-drop. If they pass, claim, kill them.
Right.
I think people really liked being able to like build super leaders and build strategies around their leaders, and now they're not going to be able to.
You have ways to interact. Have them discard. There's so much more discard now in the game.
It just is
play regional government.
I think it's necessary with all the upgrades in this set for that exact same reason.
Spirit does not like to see this card. I will say that.
But like
Chewbacca, like
Chewbacca, it hurts. But like you can also play like it's a freaking Spark. You can play regional governor. You can
you play regional
do a million
governor.
other things. Like it costs.
I think this card's. I think this card's good, but I don't think it's.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like a 1-1, one in main deck, one in the sideboard.
Yeah, you can't play a 3 main deck or anything.
Yeah,
so.
what are you gonna do? Okay, you'll just die. It's fine. It's okay.
Just die.
All right, we're gonna bang out a couple Patreon questions. When we did this a month ago, we had 581, and then 2 weeks ago we had 733. We've seen the first like real slowdown over 2 weeks, where we're at 781. But if you had told me that since March 29th we'd have almost 800 subscribers, I would have laughed in your face. I didn't think that we would grow this fast.
If we have a spike in membership, does that mean we have to keep the mustaches?
Keep the mustache. How's this? If our Patreon, if we get 10 new patrons today,
if we get 19, if we get 800, I'm not gonna 10 is too. We always get 10.
All right, hold on. No. If we get to 800 patrons by the end of the day, you guys got to keep it for going to work on Monday.
Sure.
What?
I don't know about that.
I don't know if I can do that.
No, you have to do it. It's the bro code.
Bro code?
It's one day.
I operate on different bro codes.
It's one day.
I work with kids. That's all I'm gonna say.
And then, all I'm saying is that, show that.
I wanted to show off our coin. This is the coin we had made for our Patreon subscribers. It's a galactic credit. Oh, it's kind of blurry. It's because I don't have autofocus on.
And it's an actual coin. It's not like
actual
plastic.
coin. It's metal.
I got one too.
It's the same. If you do any metal fab tokens,
wow,
dude,
it is the
shout
same
out to metal
size.
fab. These are insane.
Yeah, shout out to B-Flow for metal fab. It's the same size. This is initiative tokens. So if you bought like a plastic case or you 3D printed a case for your metal fab tokens, it'll fit perfectly in there. And it's the Death Star on one side and Tarkin on the other side. Shout out to Steve for helping me design this. My idea was that it would look like a Republic credit. And I think it does. It looks like a coin. It's got the Orbish writing. It's got the Imperial logo. I know it's really blurry. Sorry. And then the Death Star on the back just seemed like the perfect. Like this is what the Emperor would put on the back of it.
Now, how do you get those?
So if you are a subscriber at the Kashyyyk operative tier of our Patreon for 3 full months, so that means you so the people who subscribed on March 29th, our first day. They will get it at the end of June. In fact, I'll be giving these out at Gen Con to those people who will be at Gen Con. And then
mailing them out to the non-Gen Conners.
Yep. And you don't have the gray T-shirt? Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Then we also have like a cool
same logo. We've got different color schemes. But
it's a gray T-shirt. It's probably honestly like I like these ones we have for our team, but I think the gray one's my favorite.
I want to get
some soup on it, so I had to throw it in the wash.
Yeah, I want a gray as well.
Yeah.
How do I get a great T-shirt, Mike?
We've been members for 3 months.
Yeah, January.
No, but I think that we're gonna keep doing this stuff.
Crazy.
Shout out to Mike and Steve for the designs, and Maddie and I got like the crafting ideas on some of these things too. We're gonna
The only
continue
thing
to
I
push
contributed
this
was like I want the O to be something, but
was
you
great
killed
call.
it. Yeah, you guys.
The
freaking
evolution
killed it.
of the logo was like
I know
both painstakingly done and also like really
it
cool.
got to a really
Yeah.
great
I was looking
spot.
at some of the pin posts and saw like the graffiti
Yeah,
artwork we originally had, and it's just like, oh man, it worked out so much
I
better.
It worked
still,
out so
yeah,
much
this
better.
is so much better. But I
So-
still like one of them for like an alt art later. Like I think it was like the lowercase cursive one. I think that would make like a really cool. Like,
We'll continue
yeah.
to do stuff like this. Is not the first wave, but this is so exciting.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do mustaches at 800 members. It's just like really great.
No, I'm shaving my mustache.
3 full months subscribed, you get a T-shirt and a coin. I will mail it to you. International people might have to chip in on shipping. People might have to just pay shipping. I'm gonna see. We have a lot to send out, and it'll be slow because it's basically, yeah.
I'm sure we can
It's
figure
just
something
really-
out too. Like,
All right, let's
That
talk.
being said, if there's any shipping gurus out there, holla
Hit
at
us
my
up.
boy.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
figure
and if
this
you
out.
live in a country and you, I mean, I'll post this in the Discord, but like, if you live internationally, what I'm gonna do is like I have friends in Australia who I can like send it to Aaron, and he will make sure everyone in
Right.
Australia gets it. I can
Community
send it to
based,
Stealth
yeah.
Moves,
Hubs,
and he's gonna make
yeah.
sure everyone in the UK gets it. So, like, I have people
Grassroots.
that I trust, and we can all work together to get them to you as cheaply as possible for all parties involved. All right, are there? This is from Clinician. Are there cards in set 1 that we should be picking up now with set 2 coming?
Command.
Anything we should be selling?
By command. I think it's pretty cheap right now, and I think the card's good.
Sell everything.
I would
Wait
say
till the
like
reprint.
if you don't have
Yeah.
all of that run, Command Aggression, I would pick those up too.
Force Lightning, I
Okay.
think, was still reasonably cheap.
I thought it was up to like 25 now.
Did it jump? Oh, okay, after
Is
my
it really?
my
Wow.
little thing.
I'd say the cards to sell. I mean, you look at that Maul. If you wanted to try to sell your Vaders, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily sell a ton because I think the power level of set 1 is still really strong with a lot of the high impact cards. But Vader would be a one that I'd look at maybe selling just because.
Yeah, I
of,
like that. And then
Maul.
eventually, like the set 1 reprint is coming alongside set 3, and we know there's like no
Right.
Imperial set 2 essentially. So like
Yeah.
you could, I mean, depending on what. I guess it doesn't have to be Imperial to play Vader, but you
I
could
still
go.
like Vader.
Oh, Vader's fine. I'm just if we were
Yeah.
speccing and saying like, okay, for all of set 2, I can play Maul, and then when the set 1 re-release comes out, I'll be able to get Vader super cheap.
Yeah.
I can sell. I don't know what they are now, but if they were still 100, you could like sell them for 100, pick them up for 40. It's not like much money, but if you were just like looking to invest into set 2, that would
that's a
be
good
one that
point.
you could do.
What you could do, and I think is a reasonably smart idea, is sell your showcases, sell your hyperspace foil legendaries.
If anyone wants
The
to buy this
things that are-
showcase, I'll give it to you cheap.
Oh,
The
that's a
things
great
that are
call.
like really spiking in price right now inevitably will go down because of like the reprint, and nobody actually needs those cards right now.
Yeah, I'll sell this.
I think
later
showcase
showcase
is
for
a good idea.
500 cash. Hit me up. Yeah, I agree with that.
Bottle of wine.
The oh shoot, I had another idea, but I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I don't know. I would I don't ever really want to play blue control. I can't imagine a world where I do, based on like the way tournaments have been going. So like, if I was gonna sell something personally, I would like dump my SLBs and Avengers and Vigilances, and maybe not Vigilance, but the other two.
See, I just picked those up because I think that deck, obviously Cobb's going to be an issue for it, but I do think that villain control isn't necessarily going away, and like the evolution of it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I just mean if it's something you're never gonna play because you don't like that style of
You still
play,
like
the
and you don't
style,
like the way,
yeah.
and you don't like the way the
That's
end
a good
games have
point.
to be crafted in the mirror, and like
Yeah.
be true,
Yeah.
like be real with yourself. I don't ever
Right,
want to play this
right.
again.
That's a really good point. Like,
don't
we were
have
talking
it just to have it because they are hot.
Before we were talking before the showdown, and I was like trying to play yellow boba like Mike, and I like
Yeah.
some games I could pull it off, and some games I was like, this feels like heart garbage in my hands, and it was me.
Yeah.
I knew it was me, but it was like,
Yeah, I mean
that
that's how
might
I
not
felt
be-
yesterday
yeah.
too with Sabine. It's like every time I try and play Sabine
Dude, I
in that
saw you with
competitive
the green
environment.
boba. I thought that was such a good call.
Yeah, I mean I wish I changed, but I had
I
planned on
told
Sabining.
you. I said it on the car ride up. Play green boba.
Yeah, well,
Nobody
I
listens.
felt really good about Sabine. I had been winning all week with it, and
Yeah, I mean, I almost played Sabine,
But every
too. It's
time I
still so
play it
good.
in an event or something on the line, like I don't get there, so maybe it's just not for me. But when I play it against people on Carabas or TTS, like it just feels so good.
Yeah.
But I did
think
play
two
against
of them
all
top
mid-range
eighted.
decks yesterday, which like obviously is not ideal.
Yeah.
I just couldn't push damage. But
That's just one quick thing I wanted to bring up because I know we're getting long. Like playing competitive card games and tournaments is a process. Like you're gonna have everyone loses games. You're not gonna win every time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
And you're gonna have a
Mike
tournament.
won a
that
1K and then he had a
Yep.
bad showdown. I had, I've had good ones, bad ones. Like it's all part of a process. You just move on. Like don't get
I don't
bent out
know.
of
I
shape
haven't lost the
for
draft
losing.
yet, bro.
Yeah. I'm one
Was
and one.
yesterday deck lists?
No,
no.
I figured
It's
since
pretty
Matty
cash.
top forward.
but it was green boba, yellow boba, 2 Sabines, me and Vader, a Palp, mono blue, and something I don't remember, unfortunately. But that's 7 of the 8.
All right, Ryan Warner. Honest question. It does really seem villainy is getting getting some bangers for set 2. What's your reaction to it? Seems like heroism isn't as strong as villainy at this point in time. We do have 90 cards to go. This could change over time, but the current spoiler's not looking so hot. So like
We're about to get a red
is
hero
the overall
leader
best
and,
villainy and heroism? Oh, what is your opinion? Okay, so what's the best hero and what's villainy? I always thought villainy was better. So I don't think this is any new news to me. But
yeah, I mean, Poe's really strong, and then I think
Wrecker.
Wrecker's really strong. I think, you don't see all the cards yet. You look at Maul being incredibly strong on the other side. I don't totally see it as like super skewed, like 80% to 20%. You know what I mean? Like, I think if we get a few solid hero cards this week, it'll even out pretty well.
Yeah. Especially
And
like
you
I don't
don't
think we've
need
gotten a hero red ship yet. Like, there's so
exactly,
much shit to come back.
and
come
you
out.
don't need like 10 new cards to make some of these decks really powerful. Like if you look at like Sabine's already getting Poe, Wrecker, and maybe the Dark Saber in the green version, or any version actually with the tech. And like even cards like the Smuggle Falcon is like, I think that card's like very reasonable, and
all it takes is one green Squadron A-Wing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does seem like
All
hero
it takes
has a
is
lot
one
of good
card.
cards. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe the
I think villainy is
leaders
better, though.
in villain are better, but like you're right. You just name like nothing. Even Maul, I don't think is on the level of what Poe and Wrecker can do, and then together, So like,
yeah, they're the new crew. They heard about you're doing poorly at a store showdown with Sabine, and they were like, "Hold on, we're there for you, buddy.
We're coming. The reinforcements are coming.
Your box is going to be 3 of each."
Chrono is saying that Gandork said that you can only play the card once with Cobb, but like,
Okay.
I don't know.
Then
why
they'd have
that
to
would-
make a special
right,
ruling
they'd have
because
to
it
make a
Real
doesn't on the face
time-
of the card.
I think they can just say that it's once it
It's
is
not the
no
same
longer
card.
the card when it moves locations. It's no longer that card.
Best villainy
physically,
card.
Still good even if you
Maul,
can't
best
machine gun.
heroism card.
I think Poe.
Yeah, I like Poe, but I mean, in a vacuum, Poe's so busty to so many things. But my vote is Wrecker. Wrecker's insane.
Wrecker's
both-
also
they're
pretty
both
good.
Yeah, they're
Good
both
news. Good news. You can play.
Which set 1 leader you think will win the most improved award with the addition of set 2? This is from Caliber Nick, our local buddy.
That's a good
Chewy,
question.
baby. Get them Wookiees out there.
Who's gonna go better? It won't be Leia.
No, probably Han, to be honest with you. I think
Yeah,
probably
Han's already
Han.
good is the problem of the most improved. You know what I mean? But like maybe if he starts being able to beat Boba,
Is it Boba, which is like actually crazy? Boba's
I don't
going
think
against
Boba
the
can
best.
improve.
Yeah, you can't really
like
improve.
the
No,
what
you
is-
can.
the
You
gro-
definitely can
You
improve.
can, but his growth,
right.
his growth percentage
number.
will never be as high, right?
Yeah.
Like if we're looking at his growth numbers,
It would have to be like
Maybe.
because he sets the tone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
He can just be Secretariat and like be trotting
But
around.
if he's a
like
99 and he goes to 100, like
I'm more thinking of like not like capped. I'm saying like he's got like a 5-point lead and then he's gonna have a 25.
oh, you know who it's probably gonna be is like Palp.
maybe, but there's
I
no
think it'll
Empire
probably
stuff.
be
I kind of
Han.
like Steve's call because Han is actually Underworld, so maybe can take advantage of some of these
Oh,
Underworld things.
if Han goes from like I'm gate kept by Boba, but if I don't see Boba,
Well, 2 things. 1, I'm really hoping it's Han because my showcase will spike. 2, I think it'll be interesting with all the smuggle cards to be able to manipulate your resource row with his game text.
yeah, I think that's
And
gonna be
like,
cool.
that could actually have like a big advantage for him in the late game.
I agree.
That
What
Marauder
about
card,
GI?
Oh,
GI
yeah,
could-
it's
GI.
definitely GI.
Yeah,
It's
GI.
definitely
Actually,
GI.
yeah,
He's
GI.
got it, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
We
GI's
just
probably
missed
the
it 'cause
one,
it
but I
wasn't.
agree. Like,
They just made so
Yeah.
many 3-attack
Yeah.
villain guys that are bonkers.
Yeah, it's definitely GI, but I do think Han's gonna be good. That Marauder card is another. Going back to the last question too, it's another heroism card that's pretty strong.
booyah.
Man, it feels kind of cool to play with your mustache.
Dude,
I will say
keep
that.
it. Come on.
We're doing it.
I
We're
mean,
getting 8.
it's
Well,
no
we
different
don't
than when
know
you
if
had
we're
a
doing it.
beard. It
We
feels
don't
like
know
it's actually
we're
our
getting
boy
800 or
Zach. It feels like we're in a weird period of time for Store Showdowns and the release of set 2. What is your focus among the two, and how are you approaching both either? I mean, this was a weird week because I wanted to work on set 2, but I also like had the showdown, so I wanted to work on set 1. I'm gonna work on set 1 for a little bit longer because of the Discord and helping people win their last 2 weeks of showdowns. But I would like to be. I really hope the whole set gets spoiled soon because I really just want to be on set 2.
Yeah. There's sometimes spoilers are fun, but like, let's get it going. We need the big day, the day where all the things drop.
Yeah,
like that
we need
needs
the
to
big
happen.
day.
That's like such a fun day, and like it's been a while now. Like the sets.
That's when
coming
we
in a
get
month.
started.
Yeah.
I was like, all those guys were at the event in Minnesota, all the other content creators, and I was like, guys, we're hopping on, we're creating our podcast today,
Right?
because they
That was
couldn't do
sweet.
it, and that was it.
Yeah. I would say like one way to do it is if you have showdowns and big things coming up, like obviously set 1's a priority, and then if you need like a little break, play some set 2 and like hang out.
I've
You know what I
really
mean?
been enjoying crafting, just so you don't have to really engage in either one of them. But that's kind of
I wish there were more.
Well,
This is like the perfect. But that's a great point. Like when you get to this period where like the meta is kind of like a little more known and you have to do like less work, that's the perfect time to like dig into draft, because like you're still honing your skills. Like it's a lot of like the fundamentals are picked up in draft, and then you're taking a break.
I've been spending a lot of time too trying to work out the outline for what a cube's going to look like. So I want to have
so
a
shout
cube.
out, Steve's been designing his own cube for the KTOD, so we're gonna have a KTOD cube, that we travel with, and that we publish the list for, so people can. Yeah, Tada's already gonna have his cube for Gen Con. I don't know.
Did you also see really quick, Yoda Killer has like a whole box. He's like a big cube guy, and he has these like little individual deck boxes that you like put in packs. I'll link you to his picture. It's like a sick way to set up a cube that's like very organized. Just a heads
They
up.
had actually, I think it was Game Genic. I don't know. J-Rod bought him yesterday, but there was actually a product in the store that was being sold that are like physical packs that you put, like they're almost like sleeves for the pack. So like when you cube, you can physically build packs.
Yeah, these were more like mini
It's
deck
really
boxes,
cool
but
to
I like
research.
that too.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a lot of extra work to like put them in an additional thing.
Yeah,
but it's kind of cool. You could have packs.
You could show up to an event with it pre-packed, so
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you
could like at the end of the cube all hang out, shuffle together, and build the packs for next time. So like, there is some benefit to it too.
Yeah.
I will say I can't say that. I love the way I playtest now with the application I use to playtest, but it is like I can't even imagine if I would ever play Constructed if this game had Magic Arena, because I would just draft. I don't even think I legitimately don't think I would ever play Constructed.
Drafting this game is so freaking good, and I cannot wait for like, obviously like we'll have pack issues in set 2, but like I'm just not gonna open 10 boxes or whatever. But like, yeah, drafting.
We're drafting live next weekend. We got to pick a date.
Where?
I don't know. You're the one with the
You're
packs.
the one with the packs. We got to figure it out.
So we'll talk about this after, but if it can be, I'm solo parent next weekend, so I can get a babysitter. But like, if you make it a little easier on me, that'd be cool.
Let's do it up.
And then we have to record early in 2 weeks because 2 weeks from today I will be in Spain.
Nice.
Spania, something.
Shoot.
You know what looks great in Spain?
What's that?
Mustaches.
No.
A mustache. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm kind of loving it.
Look like
you have that look though, Justin. You can pull it off.
You should slick back your hair and then take a picture and like send it to Dad.
Yeah, I'm all white and I work.
Put a gold chain on.
It's not happening.
Yeah, it's good with the chain.
I would do this every time. All right, we are at just about an hour and a half, so I know
Yeah.
people
long
have been
one
asking
today.
for longer ones, and this is it.
Yeah.
But
that's cool.
I think we kept it moving.
Yeah, it was good.
All right,
Yeah, it was
cool.
good.
Well,
Good
I've got a bunch of work to do to get this posted, so buy my showcase.
All right. See you guys.
Later.
Later,
Thanks for
boys.
watching.
So there's no way to do like a free official like membership through Patreon. You'd have to. I mean, you can invite him to the Discord, but then it's gonna be awkward when you're like, "All right, your month is up. Hope you
Yeah, I
find
know
your dad."
that's the thing.
I'll tell him his month's up.
Only deck links. Oh, okay.
I gave a kid an Iden yesterday. I've never seen him so happy.
Really? Was it like a little kid?
No, he was new to the game. I had beat him with Iden, and he was like, "Oh, that's a really cool leader. I'm gonna have to try to get her and try her out." I was like, "I can just give you, I
I
can
have
just
like
give you."
10,000 items. Was that
No.
Steve? Was that your?
Yeah, I pinged him.
Okay. Can you turn on streamer mode on your Discord?
Me?
Yeah.
Why was
That was your alert.
Oh,
Matt said he pinged you, and your alert.
Yeah,
went
so
off.
that little noise that we all heard was me pinging you. And so if you get a bunch of them,
Because you don't use
Oh.
headphones, so like I can hear what your computer does.
Okay.
I put
How do-
mine on just in case. Too.
Just on Discord at the very bottom
Yeah.
next to your name, there's a gear, like a settings button,
Yeah.
and then just like maybe halfway down is